Ready to turn the dream of homeownership into a reality? Let's make it happen. Our Homeownership Pre-Planning and Much More course is designed just for you, first-time buyers navigating the complex world of real estate. We start with financial prep. Understand your credit score, income, and savings. Then, dive into market analysis to spot trends and opportunities. We teach you to set SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Goals that keep you on track and focused. Learn the benefits of purchasing real estate as a corporate entity and how to leverage tax advantages. Overcome credit issues and income limitations with our expert strategies. Understand the mortgage process from finding the right lender to closing the deal, and we've got tips for working with real estate agents and making successful offers. Join our supportive community for guidance and support every step. Ready to turn the dream of homeownership into a reality? Let's make it happen. Our Homeownership Pre-Planning and Much More course is designed just for you, first-time buyers navigating the complex world of real estate. We start with financial prep. Understand your credit score, income, and savings. Then, dive into market analysis to spot trends and opportunities. We teach you to set SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Goals that keep you on track and focused. Learn the benefits of purchasing real estate as a corporate entity and how to leverage tax advantages. Overcome credit issues and income limitations with our expert strategies. Understand the mortgage process from finding the right lender to closing the deal, and we've got tips for working with real estate agents and making successful offers. Join our supportive community for guidance and support every step.
Because I want you guys to understand this is the time to purchase real estate. So I let it run a couple of times because I notice sometimes when we're watching these videos, we're really not paying attention, and it's less than a minute. It's less than 60 seconds. So I let it run twice just to make sure that you understood what we're here for. This is a pivotal time. There are overwhelming opportunities for people to be able to purchase real estate. So I'm going to clear up something really quick. There's a large population of people who want to purchase real estate. They've got good income, but for whatever reasons, they have issues that have impaired their credit. So you've heard me say before that there's a way to purchase real estate without going through predatory lenders, even if there's credit issues. Now, what I suggest is that you allow us to help you create your own corporation. You've got income coming in. It's done all the time. It's a legal process. We create a C corporation. I'm not suggesting an LLC. And there are several reasons why I'm not suggesting an LLC. And if you want to know some of those reasons, you can pick up a copy of my book from Amazon.com or reach out to me and I will sell you a copy of this book. It's called Easy Corporate Comprehensive Curriculum for New Businesses. What this book helps with is helping you to understand all the different types of ways to operate your company. It shows you the advantages of partnerships, sole proprietorship, LLCs, C corporations, S corporations. It helps you to walk through making a decision as to how you want to form your company. With a C corporation, it's a totally separate entity from yourself. So that if you've got issues that are hampering your opportunity to purchase real estate, the company that you form won't have those issues. The articles of incorporation for a C corporation is like the birth certificate of a new being. When you get your EIN number, it's equivalent to having a social security number. So I've heard other people say, well, it's not that simple. It is that simple. We take you through an entire course. And over the 10 weeks of that course, we help you to walk through forming your corporation. We help you set up the type of stock that you may be interested in, structuring your company. in terms of whether or not you're going to do common stock or whether you're going to structure your company with a model that's more of a preferred stock. We help you determine the amount of shares that you're going to authorize. We help you determine whether or not you're going to have a par value and why. Then from there, we show you how to set your company up. We show you how to prepare your financial statements. We also show you different companies that are listed in the back of this book, Homeownership Pre-Planning and Much, Much More. This is like purchasing power for new businesses. If you go to the back of this book, page 164, there are 15 different non-qualifying mortgage lenders. I'm not going to go into what they are now, but again, I will tell you they are not predatory lenders. I'll say that to you. And they're not hard money lenders, okay? But they are mortgage lenders that have flexible underwriting guidelines that are more conducive to those individuals that are in business. If you have a corporation, they will go through your loan process, and all of the information that they will need will be based on your company. They may or may not need you to sign as a personal guarantor, but what I can tell you is that they will utilize all of the credentials of your corporation, your entity, to set up and process your mortgage loan. So here's the thing. If you're in a situation right now where you're unable to purchase property, not because you don't have income, but because, again, for whatever reasons, there are credit issues that are taking place, I'm inviting you to join me. Every week, I teach a course. You can enroll in that course. I'll provide a link down at the bottom whereby you can click and enroll in the class. It's a paid course, but I have testimonials all over the place. Individuals, I had a individual that started the course, and within 3 weeks, she had already filed her corporate documentation. What she wanted to do was to start a business where she could actually gain income. So she started that business, and we helped her become familiar with some companies whereby she can sign up and contract with them as a vendor. So now that she has viable income coming into her company as a vendor with some of these entities. So there's just various ways that you can benefit from forming your own corporation. So I want to just say to you, if you're interested in purchasing real estate, there is a way to get it done, even if you're in a situation where you've been told that you don't qualify, okay? Because when you create the entity of your corporation, you can build into your corporation everything that you're not. So every reason why you're not qualifying would be what you would build into your corporation so that your corporation would qualify. Now, for that individual who's just apprehensive about purchasing real estate right now for whatever reasons, I'm telling you, this is the best time to purchase real estate. The market is just saturated with opportunities for you to purchase real estate in various ways. You can purchase REO properties. Those are distressed properties that have been foreclosed on and that are now back into the inventory of the lender. You can purchase properties that way. You can purchase property, again, through auctions. What I'm here to do is educate, empower, and guide, and I also want to support. And so in the Homeownership Pre-Planning course, which is a free course, our goal is to help individuals, especially those with income limitations or credit issues, to navigate to homeownership and real estate investment. So you guys know I'm with National Land Realty. I'm a land professional. We specialize in bringing buyers and sellers of land together because there's so many investment opportunities with land. You can purchase some land, live on a portion of it, and lease the other portion. That's not the only way to monetize your land. But what I'm saying to you is that there are just a multitude of benefits. I'm not going to be here on here long enough to explain to you all of the ways. But if you want to know, reach out to me. This Homeownership Pre-Planning course, it's a free course. It's an online live course. I'll say that. And so I'll include a link for this course as well. But if you're interested in forming a corporation for the purpose of purchasing real estate, reach out to me. You can click the link that's going to be made available as well. There are 2 books here, Homeownership Pre-Planning and Much, Much More. I recommend both of them. And this one, Easy Corporate Comprehensive Curriculum for New Business Owners. It will change your life. And I have the testimonies of several different people who will attest to how beneficial it has been to them in terms of getting themselves established. Some people wanted to create ways to generate multiple resources of revenue. And so they were able to do that. Others wanted to create a way where they would be able to buy and sell real estate, and they are walking through the process of doing that. Now, I mentioned to you that our goal is to educate and to empower, to guide, and to support. What we want to do is help you through the process of home ownership, land ownership. Under all is the ground. I believe that's the preamble for the National Association of Realtors. I am a real estate agent. So when we're walking you through these things, we want to include financial preparation, market analysis, strategic planning, goal structuring, so that we create a supportive community. I've even got a community of people that have allowed me to either list their property or to sell them property, who are willing to come on and meet with you and walk you through your specific issues, things that you may be apprehensive about. They're willing to come on, create a forum to walk you through certain circumstances and situations. So the model for this curriculum is to introduce you to all of the ways that you can be helped into a piece of property without, some people can't handle, when you say planning, they just go into hyperventilation. They can't fathom long-term planning. So when we talk about pre-planning, we're not necessarily talking about a long time. But what we are talking about is addressing certain issues to help you present yourself in such a way that the loan officers and the loan processors are able to process your loan seamlessly, and the underwriters understand what it is that they're looking at, and they can make a decision as to your viability to purchase property. And that's what we walk you through. So we help you with setting realistic goals. We use something called a SWOT analysis to do that. And we also help you, even after we've gone through the analysis, to target areas that may be issues that could hinder the seamless flow of your loan processing, to set up SMART goals. And by doing that, you have now a measurable target to reach where you're trying to go. These are things that we help you with. We also, again, talk about how it will simplify things for some of you to establish a corporate entity to purchase your real estate, to buy and sell your real estate. We talk about the tax benefits of real estate ownership and some of the other deductions and advantages that are involved financially with owning real estate. And lastly, inside of this course, we talk about overcoming credit issues and limitations as far as your income. And we help you set up strategies to improve your credit, to manage your debt, and to explore other financing options. We also talk about a subject that people don't want to address, but it's necessary to address. If you're going to purchase real estate, you need to know that it is always a possibility that foreclosure could enter into play. You could be laid off. Things could happen, but that should not be a reason that would hinder you from purchasing property. So we prepare you prior to. It's a part of the pre-planning process. And what happens is we help you to understand how to avoid foreclosure, how to, if you see that there are going to be financial issues that are going to arise, how to walk out the steps, like mitigation. There's loss mitigation. There are other things that are involved that your mortgage company can actually do to help you. We let you know that the person that's calling you from collections is not necessarily the person that you go to for loss mitigation and other options to foreclosure, because they're not going to know. Their job and their script is limited to collections, but there are other departments that you can ask to be transferred to that can help you with loss mitigation processes, which will most of the time prevent your foreclosure. Okay, so these are just a few things that I wanted to talk to you about in terms of home ownership. If you're interested, there'll be a link below this video for homeownership, pre-planning, and much, much more. It's a way for you to graduate to land ownership. And again, I'm Jacqueline Battle, National Land Realty, and I want to invite you into land ownership, into home ownership. If you already own your property, it's time for you to get involved in land investment. It's the quickest way to get involved with flipping property. Here's why. When you purchase a home, sometimes there's a chance that there may be some improvements that are necessary. But when you before you can flip that home, but when you purchase land, you can simply repurpose the land, which will change the value of the property in certain circumstances. Let me give you an example just before we leave. Had a client that had some family land, okay? They sold that family land. And the individual that bought the land, or the company, the corporation that bought the land, repurposed the land and turned around and sold it at a huge profit. Because you know what they did? They started to subdivide it into lots. Now, the land that the family owned already was surveyed into sections. So they began to sell it in those various sections for much more of a profit than what they had purchased. And they did that within a matter of months after they had purchased the property. I think it was maybe in less than 90 days. They put it back on the market, selling it themselves. They sold it themselves. And they were selling it in such a way that they were profiting from the sales, because they subdivided it and sold it in sections. So they ended up profiting a whole lot more from selling the land in that way. So I want to make sure that as we're doing the recap, that you're understanding all the benefits that are involved, because there are a multitude of benefits. So here's hoping you can still hear. I'm going to run through this once more, and I'm taking my time with this because I want to make sure that you guys are getting it. This is the most ideal time to purchase or to sell your real estate. I'm not going to go into why. If you guys happen to enroll in the classes, the homeownership pre-planning classes, and those are free. Well, when I say they're free, they're live online courses. So if you're interested in that, I will share with you some reasons why this is an ideal time to purchase or to sell your real estate. If you want to increase your real estate portfolio, now is the time to do it. Now, I just want to share one more thing with you. I was, like all of y'all know, I'm a teaching preacher. That's what I am. I am a teaching preacher. Okay. So what I mean by that is so I won't go into all of that, but I'll just say I'm a teaching preacher, and I'll leave it right there. And under a different setting, under a different forum, I'll explain to you what I mean by that. This is not the time for us. I'm not gonna belabor the time to go into that now. But I want to say to you all, I was reading something from a biblical resource earlier today, and from that resource, what I gathered was that there is a way for you to benefit when the time is right. Okay. There's always a right time for certain things. And this story had to do with a group of people. They were Israelites. And the story is in the book of Numbers. And in the book of Numbers, I guess I can go into telling you what chapters, so you can get a general idea. But the story spans from Numbers 12 all the way through Numbers 14. Okay. So I'm not going to get into all of that, but I will say to you, in that story, it was an ideal time for them to move in what's called their promised land. Okay. So they sent out some spies. The leader sent out some spies. That was Moses. He sent out some spies, 12 spies. He took leaders from every tribe. He took the leadership from every tribe and he sent them out to spy out this land that was considered a land flowing with milk and honey. In other words, it was very prosperous area for them to move into. Okay, well, that area was inhabited. It was inhabited by a lot of their enemies. Let's see, the Anakites, the Amorites, the Hittites, the Jebusites, the Canaanites. It was inhabited. And the Ananites, of course, are from the lineage of Nephilim. So they were like giants, big old folks. It said that Nephilim are actually humans mixed with fallen angels. So they're huge giants. Okay. And then, the other cultures that were there. And so when they went in to spy it out, they could see that there were resources were overwhelming. There was plenteous. The issue is when they came back to report, there were only 2 of them that had enough faith and could see the opportunity. They understood that God was with them. They understood the momentum, the timing, okay? And so the others didn't quite understand the momentum. All they could see was the fear of the giants, all of the objectives, okay? So I want you to hear me well, because I'm talking to people who have objections right now. You're thinking about purchasing property, but you're going to try to do it later. Listen, I'm telling you, this is the ideal time for purchasing real estate. We don't know what the climate is going to be like later. We don't know what commerce will be like in later years, but we know right now it's ideal for purchase. There are programs available that have not been available in several decades. These programs are available to help you purchase property and to maintain your property. Okay. So they were so afraid of all of the things that were in their way, the obstacles, that they started wanting to go back to their enslavement instead of being ready to go forward. They didn't have the faith to go forward. All they could see was the giants. But in the scripture, it said that the protection of the giants and the strength of the giants had already passed. And so it was the perfect timing for them to go in and overtake the land, because the strength and the protection of that land of giants was lifted. It was gone. It wasn't there at the time. It was an ideal opening for them to go in and overtake. Okay. Here's the thing. Their attitudes caused them to miss the momentum. It caused them to miss the timing, because they didn't understand that ideal time was a divine opportunity. And I'm saying to you, this ideal time is a divine opportunity for you. If you've always wanted to own your own home, your own land, but it seemed like it was always obstacles getting in your way, this is the opportune time. And when there is a divine time, there's also divine assistance present during that divine time. And if you try to step outside of the divine timing, the divine presence will not be there. Yes. You see, what they failed to realize is that God was with them. And with God, all things are possible. For with God, nothing shall be impossible. God was with them. So anyway, God says, well, listen, y'all got bad attitude. None of y'all not going in. You know what? I am not going to allow any adult to go into this promised land. They are going to go into the promised land, but it's going to be your children that go. You're not going to go. You forfeit this. So now they're in despair and they're like, oh God, we're sorry. We're sorry. We're going to go up right now and we're going to do it. Here's the thing. The timing. They missed the timing. God was not with them any longer. He cut them off. Cut them off. You guys just going to be existing until you die, because you're not going into this promised land. He shut the door. He cut off the timing for them. The momentum was gone. Now they're trying to go back up into the hill of Canaan, outside of timing. This is in Numbers chapter 13 and 14. They're outside of the timing. Now they want to go back. Oh Lord, we're going to go. We're going to go. We believe. It's too late now. He cut you off. So they go back up, and they were annihilated by the inhabitants. Why? Because God was not with them. And Joshua and Caleb, the two that believed, said to them, listen, you don't need to go now because God is not with you. You better not go now. But they went anyway, still outside of timing. When the timing and the momentum was available and they could go, they were too fearful to go because they kept saying, well, this enemy and this obstacle and that obstacle. Stop looking at your obstacles. The least you can do is register for the online course, Homeownership Pre-Planning and Much, Much More. We're going to walk through this book. We're going to walk through how to show you how to apply with those non-qualifying mortgage lenders who are not predatory lenders and they're not hard money lenders. We'll show you how to walk through and apply with them. If it's necessary for you to form your own corporation as an entity and have that apply as you're through the loan process, we'll walk you through easy corporate comprehensive curriculum for new business owners and get your company set up and get you some credibility so that you can walk through the process of purchasing real estate. We're going to do what we can to help you because this is the ideal time. You need to get into the rhythm of the momentum. You know how you jump and rope and you waiting on that moment to jump in. You need to get into the rhythm of the momentum right now of property ownership, land ownership. This is your timing. If you miss the moment, who knows when this type of climate for purchasing real estate will roll around again. It's been decades since it's been this beneficial to purchase real estate. So I'm going to put the links, both links, in this video so that you can click on the links if you're interested in registering for the online course, Homeownership Pre-Planning, Much, Much More. It's not a long course. It's a quick thing. We walk you all the way through it. Our job and our desire, again, is that we want to educate, we want to empower, we want to guide, and we want to support because everybody's situation is different. But I guarantee you there's a way to get you in that property if you give us an opportunity to help you. This is the time to get in the motion and the rhythm of the momentum while it's your timing. Because when you jump in the timing, there's divine timing with divine assistance. If you miss the divine timing, the divine assistance will no longer be available. So I'm going to stop right here. And I'm going to remind you that this is the time, your divine opening, to take advantage of the divine momentum. That's right. I'm Jacqueline Battle, National Land Realty. I'm a land professional, and I'm inviting you. Call me today, right now. Don't wait. Thank you so much for joining me. Okay, I don't see you calling. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Call me today. Thank you.